Morning students. Today we will be discussing the chapter called data structures. Already we have discussed some of the basic concepts of this chapter in the previous sessions. Today we will continue the same chapter, data structures. Data structure is one of the important chapter because it has lot of weightage in your annual syllabus. So today we will be discussing data structures, and the topic what I will be discussing with you is stacks. We already had a discussion on stacks in the previous session. I had given you a brief introduction to stacks. Now we will have a deep or the detailed discussion of the chapter stacks. So we shall continue the data structures part 6. Let us have a look as to the weightage of this chapter, and this chapter you have to study for 14 marks. That is, you will be getting one 1 mark question, one 3 mark question and two 5 mark question. In total 14 marks questions will be asked from this chapter. Let us start the concept of stacks. You already have a brief note or brief discussion as to stack. Now let us start and check out the details as to how the stacks can be represented and what are the advantages, disadvantages and many other things. So in our day-to-day life we have seen stacks at many places. In a library you might have seen a stack of books. Similarly, in a hotel or restaurant you might have seen a pile of plates. So there you might have seen the washed plates will be kept on the top always, and a plate in a hotel will be taken which is at the topmost position. So similarly, in computer we will be creating a stack of data elements, data items. Let us see how we can represent these data elements in the memory. Before that, let us have a check on the definition of stack. A stack is ordered collection where the elements are added and removed at the same place. A stack is a collection of elements. It's a ordered collection where the elements are added and removed at the same end, and that end is called top of the stack. The common end where the elements are added and removed, it is called top of the stack. In a stack, the most recent element added is the first element to be removed. That is, the last element added is the first element to be removed. Last in, first out. Last element added will be the first element to be removed. This type of ordering is called LIFO. LIFO is last in, first out. As you can see in the example, a stack has 5 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The recent element added to the stack is 5, which is the top of the stack. When the elements have to be removed, first 5 will be removed or deleted, then 4 followed by 3, 2 and 1. The last or the most recent element added is 5, and that will be the first element to be deleted. As you can see in the example, the last element added is 5, and if we have to remove the elements from the stack, 5 will be removed first. So as we have seen stacks represented in our day-to-day life, like we can see a stack of books, a pile of plates, a stack of chairs. Similarly, if we have to represent stack of data elements in the memory, we will be using two methods. The two methods that can be used to represent stacks in the memory is using arrays, and the other method is using linked list. Using arrays, that type of representation is called static representation. If we are representing a stack using a linked list, that is also called as dynamic representation. So, if we have to represent data in a stack in our computer memory, we can use two methods that can be represented using two methods. The first method is using arrays. The second method is using linked list. Using arrays, if we are representing a stack using linked list, it is also called dynamic representation. If we are representing a stack using arrays, it is also called as static representation. Let us see the first method, that is how we can represent a stack using arrays, that is static representation. So, arrays can be used to represent a stack. So, we can use one dimensional array to represent stack, and we will be using a pointer called top, which indicates the top of the stack where the insertion and deletion can be done, that is elements can be added and removed. So, we will be using max stack, which tells the maximum number of elements that a stack can hold. If the top has reached maximum stack, that means max is nothing but the maximum elements that can a stack hold. If top reaches max, which means stack is full, the maximum limit is reached. There is no space for the element to be inserted. Stack is full or stack overflow. Similarly, if top is equal to null, which means there are no elements in the stack and stack is empty or underflow. So, now we will be using an array to represent a stack, as we know that array has fixed size. So, arrays, when we are using arrays to represent a stack, that stack will have a fixed size. As you can see in the example, we have a stack and there are two elements. Initially the stack is empty, then 1 is added, later on 2 is added. So, first there was only one element in the stack and later on another element, that is 2 is added. So, if we add one more element, that element will be placed above 2. As of now, the top of the stack refers to 2. Now we will see how we can use a linked list to represent a stack. So, representing a stack using array is easy, but it has some drawback. The drawback is array has a fixed size. During the execution time, if you want to change the size of the stack using arrays, it is not possible because array has a fixed size. But whereas a linked list, you can change the size of the stack during the execution time. You can increase or shrink, you can increase or decrease the size at any given point of time. Therefore, if we represent a stack using linked list, it is called dynamic creation or dynamic representation. Linked list, we can increase the size at runtime. We can create a new node as and when required. So, we can use stack using linked list so that we can create a dynamic stack so that the size can be changed, increased or decreased any given point of time. So, let us see the example where we can represent a stack using linked list. So, you can see a node. A node has two parts. the data part and the next part. Data stores the data element which we want to represent, and next represents the address of the next node in the list. There can be n number of nodes. The list can grow dynamically. Any number of time you can add or remove. In the second example, you can see linked list has 10, 20, 30 and 40 as the members, data elements. So, a node has two parts, the data and the address or the next. Data represents the data elements and next represents the address of the next node. So, it will tell us where the next node is, where it links the next node. So, this is how we can represent a stack using linked list. Let us see how a element can be inserted to a linked list. The insertion operation refers to inserting an element. We create a new node and insert an element into the stack. To follow the principle of last in first out, a node need not be created from the end of the linked list. The element need to be inserted into the node from the end of the linked list. Let us see how we can delete an element from the linked list. Deletion operation is deleting an element or a node from the linked list. Deletion can be done from the topmost element, as informed earlier that insertion or deletion both are done at the top of the stack. So, the recently added element will be the first element to be deleted, as you can see in the example. So, here we can see the last node will be deleted, as stack works on LIFO principles, last in first out. The last node added will be the first node to be deleted. Let us check what are the different operations that can be performed on stack. So, the stack, as it is a collection of data elements, the data elements are added and removed at the end called top, and stack works on LIFO ordering. Let us discuss the stack operations in detail. The first operation is stack, which is nothing but creating a new stack. So, stack operation creates a new stack. As I was telling earlier, adding an element to the top of the stack is also called pushing an element. So, we have push operation. Push operation adds a new item to the stack. Then we have pop. Pop operation removes the data element from the top of the stack. Next operation that can be performed on stack is peek or peep. P-E-E-K or P-E-E-P, which returns the element which is on the top, but the element is not removed from the top. It just gives us the element. So, whichever element is at the top, it will give that, but it is not removed or deleted from the stack. That is called peek operation or peep operation. Is empty. This operation checks whether the stack is empty. If the stack is empty, it returns true. Otherwise, it will return false. If stack has a data, it returns false. If stack does not have any data, it returns true. Size. This operation gives us the total number of elements that are present in the stack. Let us check the push operation. So we can see in the screen, initially the stack is empty, then 5 is pushed. When 5 is pushed, top is referring to 5. Later on 4 is pushed, then top refers to 4. Later on 3 is pushed, then top refers to 3. Now top refers to 3 because the recent element added is 3. Let us check the example where there is empty stack and top is -1. If top is -1 or top is null, then it indicates empty stack. Now 10 is added, so top refers to 0. Later on 20 is added, top refers to 1. Later on 12 is added, top is referring to 2. Later on, as 33 is pushed into the stack, top refers to 3. That means whenever an element is added to the stack, top is incremented by 1. Each time an element is added, top is incremented plus 1. So let us see the algorithm for push operation. So push operation, if you want to perform push operation, first we should have stack, top, size and item. Stack is the array where we are storing the elements. Top refers to the pointer which indicates the top of the stack. Size refers to the maximum elements that can be stored in the stack, and item refers to the data element which has to be pushed to the stack. Step 1. If top is equal to n minus 1, n is nothing but the size. So if top has reached n minus 1, n is the maximum limit. If it has reached, then we print stack is full, stack overflow, and we exit. Otherwise, we increment the top and then we add the element. Stack top is equal to item. We insert the element and then we return. First we will check the overflow condition. When do we get overflow condition? When top has reached the maximum limit. If there are n elements, the last element is always n minus 1. If stack has 5 elements, then the maximum index it will be n minus 1, that is 5 minus 1, 4. So we are checking if top has reached n minus 1, that is maximum limit, we print there is no space, that is stack is full. Otherwise, we increment the top and then we can add the element. So next comes the pop operation. Initially, we have a stack with 4 elements. When the element is popped, the first element popped will be 15. Then top refers to 12. After popping 12, top refers to 10. After popping 10, top refers to 5. After popping 5, top refers to -1, that is empty stack. So we will not be able to remove elements from the stack if it is empty because there are no elements. If you want to perform pop operation, first thing is we need to check whether top is -1 or null. If top is null, stack is empty. If there are no elements how can we remove the element? So we print stack is empty and we exit. Otherwise, so we are copying the top of the element and then we are decrementing the top, as whenever we remove an element, top is decremented by 1, and before decrementing the top we are copying the topmost element from the stack. So this is the algorithm to perform pop operation. So hope you have understood the operations that can be performed on stacks, the different various operations, and how we can represent stack in the memory, as there will be 2 5-mark questions coming from this chapter. So most expected question for 5 mark is the algorithm for push and pop. You need to write a program, C++ program, to perform push and pop operation also. So let me just brief you about the topics which we discussed today. So today we discussed what is stack, how stack can be represented in the memory. Stack can be represented using 2 ways, arrays and linked list. Arrays, it is also called static representation. Linked list, it is also called dynamic representation. Why it is called static? Because array has a fixed size. Using arrays you can create a stack with the fixed size. Using linked list you can create a stack, dynamic stack. Dynamic means we can increase or decrease the size during the execution time. We also discussed about the different operations that can be performed on stacks. The different operations that can be performed on stack is stack, push, pop, peek or peep. Then we have display, is empty, and the other thing is size. Then we discussed the algorithm for push operation. Whenever we want to add an element, first we need to check whether maximum size, top has reached maximum size. If top has reached maximum size, that means there is no space for new element. So we print stack is full or overflow. Whenever we want to remove an element, pop an element, first we need to check the top. If top is null or top is -1, that means stack is empty. If there are no elements in the stack, so it is not possible to delete the elements. So these are the conditions which has to be checked before pushing an operation or popping an element from the stack. Kindly go through the video and check your understanding by attending the 10-mark question, so that you know how much you have understood this particular chapter. Thank you. Thank you for your patience listening. God bless you, my dear students. Have a great day ahead.